let's hop into it. Let's hop into it. Week 9. Week 9. Week 9. Aging like fine wine. Okay. No, what to do, y'all? Greetings and salutations. Welcome back. This is week 9 though. This is week 9 of The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Week 9 of my creative recovery. And man, oh man, do I have some things for you. I mean, a part of me feels like there's not too much to talk about, but just really good things. Week 9 was beautiful. Week 9 was chef's kiss, especially following up after the weeks that I've had, the emotions and all of that. So let's just hop right into it with my overview for week 9. So I started reading on Monday and I finished Tuesday. Morning pages, 7 out of 7, baby. And I'm really proud of myself because I actually woke up on time every day this week. I feel like I understand that perfection does not exist and that's not what we're striving for, but damn near perfection if you ask me. Like I was just so happy. I woke up at 6 on Monday through Friday, my weekdays, which you will see in the morning pages with my little colored light, because the sun hasn't arose yet. So, it's dark outside and I have my little light. And I don't know, it just felt really good. It was a domino effect. Starting the morning off right, starting the day off right on time. I was able to do my morning ritual and I was able to just go to work on time, clock in, clock out on time. It was just good thing after good thing after good thing. And then we get to Tuesday, and that is actually when I did my artist date, which is also a synchronicity in itself, but I'll get to that later when I discuss the synchronicities. But yeah, Tuesday I ended up doing my artist date after work, and I just ended up going to the monument. So it was so funny because originally I wanted to go to the National Gallery of Art. I wanted to continue, I think I went week 3 or 4, but I wanted to continue the museum. But I walked all the way there. Well, I didn't walk all the way there. I took the bus and all that way. I traveled there and then only to find out that it was closed. All of the museums are closed because of the whole Trump shutting down the government thing, which I won't go too deep into it here, but I just, anyone who's watching this who's been affected by the political state of our country, just please be well, please be easy, take care of your mental, take care of your physical. Just make sure that you and your loved ones are all right, just check in. I know it's a lot going on, it's a lot to take in, and we've gotta pray. We've gotta pray for good times ahead. I know that it will get better, but we just gotta get through this moment. Because Trump shut down the government, the museum was closed, found that out when I got there, so I was like, okay, let me just go to this spot that I went to with some friends last year. And on my way to the spot, I stopped by the pollination garden. That was free, a little walk through, a little up and down. And it was just really nice just to take that time to walk, breathe, be grateful for living. Just read the little pamphlets, the little plaques that they had of the information, and learning, relearning, remembering certain things that you learned way back in grade school, so it was really nice to just take in. And then I ended up going to the monument, which was not my original spot, but I was like, I think this is far enough, because I think the spot I was aiming for was just more far back. So I just stopped at the monument, found a nice little spot under some trees that were calling my name, and yeah, I ended up reading because I didn't take anything to work with me. Wasn't really planning on doing my artist date that day, but because I was there, I was like, okay, I have my artist way book, so I was like, let me finish reading week 9, and so that's what I did. And then I was just acting a fool. I did a little 2-step, I did a few cartwheels, and it just felt nice to be outside and just to see humans with other humans interacting without technology and just taking in life, honestly. So that was really good. It was so great. And then I have a note here that was like, please read task number 1 for the people. Okay, so one of the tasks for this week, so yes, usually we have 10 tasks, but this week we only had 4 tasks, and I completed all of them. Julia really went into detail with each one, but the very first one was to read the morning pages, and I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, oh my goodness. Read them. I thought you said we weren't gonna read them, Julia. But yeah, she wanted us to read them, which I did have here. She said it would be best to get 2 different color highlighters and to just start highlighting, you know, different things. One color is for insights and the other color is for actions that need to be taken. I didn't get too far, but I did get through a couple of pages in week 1. And yeah, it was so interesting to just read back my own words about the morning pages. Like day 1, I'm like, I don't like this. Can't believe I'm doing this. My hand hurts. And I know there's gonna be growth there because I don't feel that way anymore. You know, she definitely said not to judge ourselves and stuff like that. So I was taking it in. I was taking it in with a grain of salt, just being very gentle with myself and whatnot. Tuesday also, this film that I was in as a little extra played a little small role. Murder Gardens 2, if you're into films, wherever you indulge in your entertainment, definitely check that out. But it is an independent made film, made in Miami, Florida. This is the sequel to their previous film, Murder Gardens, which is already out. And my cousin was in it, so I was able to be in the sequel, and that came out on Tuesday. So I like hopped on Instagram, didn't even know it was out, and like people are talking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like let me go see the scene I was in. And just seeing the scene that I was in just really did something for me. It just really made me feel nice. It reminded me of who the fuck I am. It's been a little minute since I dabbled into the acting, so it just felt really nice to just see that scene, because once we filmed it and we wrapped up, like I really didn't hear much about it again, and I didn't see any drafts or anything. So this is my first time seeing it, and I was very pleased with my work, was very pleased with myself. Yeah, it just looked nice. It looked nice, and I don't know, it just gave me a boost of confidence, and it just felt like it was all divine timing. Like I definitely felt like that was a synchronicity in itself, just dropping on the same day that I happened to do my artist day in the middle of the week, and it was just really good. It was a really good feeling. And then I also had a note here, yeah, I don't care if it takes a day to reply. I need to do that for my sanity, growing to a place of balance. So like all that I said with this is that I don't know if I think I have mentioned this, but last year I did a 10-month social media detox. And so coming back, there's just been this challenge of finding the balance with social media, because I don't want to give it too much power. But of course, I feel like it comes with a lot of, it's grown to come with a lot of things. It didn't start off like that, but here we are. And so I have a time limit on the Instagram app, 1 hour a day. And when I reach that hour, you know, it shuts me off, and basically it takes like some time to reply and stuff like that. So like I posted it, and then people were commenting, and then like it took a day, and then I responded to them, and then like more people commented. It took another day, and at first I was like, oh, I hope they don't feel no type of way. I'm not trying to come off no type of way, but like I just can't be on that app that much, like for right now. Like it's just, you know, not beneficial. And so I just had that epiphany, which was like, okay, who cares though? Like at the end of the day, how they perceive you, whoever, like those who know you or those who know me, like me talking to me, it's like those who know you will not take it any kind of way, and then those who do, fuck them essentially, because what? But yeah, so that was a thing too. It's just like, I'm gonna take my time with it. No one should feel a type of way, and this is self-care. This is me prioritizing myself. So that was like something. But of course I want to grow to a place where, you know, I don't have to wait so long for that social anxiety to die down. Like I can just, somebody comments, I can just like it, like reply and like move on, you know? So, you know, week 8 for me was just kind of like bleh. And I peeked in today's check-in that I didn't read the quotes of week 8's reading. So I read those, and I felt really moved, and then I read week 9, and so I will wrap up this video with a few quotes that just really moved me, and I felt like that needed to be shared. But yeah, overall it was a very extremely good, successful week. Like I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the synchronicities, and then we'll go on to the reading notes. So Okay, so for my first synchronicity is just what I mentioned earlier about work. So shout out to my wife, Kato, because she is always there to listen to my motor mouth. And every Sunday, you know, Julia, she asks us to do these check-ins. And I'm not saying I spill all the tea and all the beans. This is definitely my journey. But it's so nice that she's there to like just listen to me blabble about all of my discoveries and things. And one of the things I told her last Sunday, last day of week 8 leading into this week 9, was that I wanted to try to do my artist day on a weekday, because what if something pops up on the weekend? What if something happens? What if I simply don't feel like it? At least I did what I needed to do early. Why put off for tomorrow for what you can do today? Yeah, like I was definitely just telling her about that discovery and telling her how in week 9 I'm definitely going to try to just push myself and do the artist day after work. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to wait towards the weekend. And then Tuesday, I got cut early. That's what I wanted to mention earlier. Surprise. But yeah, like synchronicity. I got cut early. And I was like, oh my goodness. And instead of going home, I was like, no, like I'm too excited. I'm too hyped. I feel good. I'm going on my artist date right now. And it's funny because, you know, my ego was like, do we want to go home and change first? Because I usually do wear a regular shirt to work, but the weather's changing. We are in fall and I'm up north. So I had to wear, you know, my little long sleeve, my little muscle shirt, and like my little hoodie. So it was like a black on black type of situation, you know? So, you know, but I was like, no, like, fuck it. Like, we're going on the artist day right now. It's a good day. It's not gonna rain, you know? It's like, it's just gonna be a good day. Like, you have everything you need, yourself and the will to go, and your inner artist too. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And then they cut me and I was like, this is Mama Nay basically saying, boop, there you go. You said you wanted to do it on a weekday. Put your money where your mouth is. Like, show me that you about it, girl. And I definitely did. So that was just a synchronicity in itself. And then my second one, I had a lot this week, but I noted these two. The second one was just this Still Life podcast that I mentioned. It just always seems that what I'm listening to at the times align with the themes of the week. And that's basically all I was saying here. The host, Henry, he was going into his, how he used to have like a drinking problem, and how when he was drinking a lot, you know, he was really good at it. It got to the point where people couldn't even tell he was drunk. He rarely got hungover, so he felt like he could just do it consistently. And I'm on the 4th topic right now, like we're on habits. So he's talking about how this was like a bad habit. And he basically said that the people that he got to know and the memories that he created, he merged his identity with those moments, with who he was when he was drunk. And he was afraid of like, okay, well, what if this changes? What if they don't like me? All the things. And I just really related to it as regard to like my artistry and my sexuality. This next project of mine is just really close to the heart. And I know that once I get over this hurdle, once I get over this blockage, I will have to kind of face that and come to terms with it and put it out there. And I'm gonna keep it real. I'm scared. Like I'm nervous, but it needs to be done. And so I don't know, I just really related to it in terms of like, okay, yeah, if I drop this project, because I feel like people know me artistically, especially musically, as a certain thing. So if I drop this project talking about these different topics and these feelings, revealing certain aspects and faces of my character, will this change? Will they think this about me? Who else will I lose on the journey? Like, you know, these things go on, but I do want to I want to get to a place, like Henry said in the thing, which really moved me. He said that he just wanted to get to a place where he's not dependent on any external factors, whether it's drinking, smoking, going to the gym, relying on like the physical external to reflect what's really going on inside. Like, just, he doesn't want to rely on these bad habits, these external factors to be himself. He wants to rely on himself to be himself. And it really moved me. And I feel like that's where I want to get to. And I feel like I had that aha moment, that synchronicity within myself. So yeah, that was that. Synchronicity, Still Life, the artist's way. It all aligns. Okay, so week 9 was all about recovering a sense of compassion. And Julia says that this week I am facing the internal blocks of creativity. It may be tempting to abandon ship at this point. Don't. I will explore and acknowledge the emotional difficulties that beset me in the past as I've made creative efforts. And the first topic is fear. I feel like she's had this topic in here a couple of times now. She keeps bringing up fear, but with good reason, of course. One of the most important tasks in artistic recovery is learning to call things and ourselves by their right names. Most of us have spent years using the wrong names for our behaviors. We have wanted to create, and we have been unable to create, and we have called that inability laziness. This is not merely inaccurate, it is cruel. Accuracy and compassion serve us far better. Blocked artists are not lazy, they are blocked. And when I first read that, I was like, damn. Shots fired, because I literally got this flashback of me saying in the last check-in video last week that I felt something in week 8, and I didn't want to call it laziness, but it was something there, I guess, you know what I'm saying. So it's funny that she opened up with this, because it's like, Julie, please. The next topic is enthusiasm. It must take so much discipline to be an artist. We are often told by well-meaning people who are not artists but wish they were. What a temptation. What a seduction. They're inviting us to preen before an admiring audience to act out the image that is so heroic and Spartan and false. As artists, grounding our self-image in military discipline is dangerous. In the short run, discipline may work, but it will work only for a while. By its very nature, discipline is rooted in self-admiration. Think of discipline as a battery, useful but short-lived. We admire ourselves for being so wonderful. The discipline itself, not the creative outflow, becomes the point. And I feel like in this section, basically, Julie is saying that discipline only goes so far, like being very strict with your art can only go so far, but it goes against the very nature of art, which is to be free, which is to create without any boundaries. And being strict and being very by the book with your art defeats the purpose of creation and having that imagination. Quick little story. I guess 5 years ago, like around 2019, 2020, a good friend of mine basically told me to archive all of the things on my Instagram that weren't pertaining to my art, because when people come to my Instagram, they don't want to see all these school flyers and random photos of life and food and things. They want to be able to see what it is that I do within the first like 2-3 rows. They don't want to like scroll through. And I guess I took that to heart, I took it to heart because, at the time, some of the things that she said I looked up to. So I took it as good advice. And I did that. And I think that was a mistake, Looking back, I think that was a mistake, because ultimately I feel like, I used to look at, I still do. I feel like Instagram is kind of like this digital photograph, like photo book. And it tells you the times, places, and like these things of like, and how you look and like where you were at certain times. And I don't think I want to add too much pressure to that. And I don't think social media should be the end all be all for my art and professionalism. Like, I think it should be my resume and the things that I do. I don't think social media, my Instagram, should be an end all be all. And so, yeah, I just, I get very enthusiastic about my Instagram, or just the way that I showcase things, because it is a reflection of my art, of my life, a reflection of my art. My art's on there too, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's a place of expression. I've always looked at social media, if I had to just ball it down and chip it down to one thing, I've always looked at it as a place of expression. You get to choose your own username, profile pic, edit your bio, and then boom, depending on the social media, you kind of go from there. But it's yours, it's your account. And I've always thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, I don't want that to change. Over any extended period of time, being an artist requires enthusiasm more than discipline. Enthusiasm is not an emotional state. It is a spiritual commitment. a loving surrender to our creative process, a loving recognition of all the creativity around us. Our artists may rise at dawn to greet the typewriter or easel in the morning stillness, but this event has more to do with a child's love of secret adventure than the ironclad discipline. What other people may view as discipline is actually a play date that we make with our artist child. I'll meet you at 6 a.m. and we'll goof around with that script, painting, sculpture, etc. The next topic is creative U-turns. Recovering from artist block, like recovering from any major illness or injury, requires a commitment to health. At some point, we must make an active choice to relinquish the joys and privileges accorded to the emotional invalid. A productive artist is quite often a happy person. This can be very threatening as a self-concept to those who are used to getting their needs met by being unhappy. Yeah, and then she has a few examples about what is a creative U-turn, and I'm gonna say two just so we can get the picture. A screenwriter has an agent interested in repping a script with just a few changes. He doesn't make the changes. A painter is invited into a group show, his first, but picks a fight with the gallery owner. I feel like creative U-turns are these things, distractions, or these moments of fear that pop up, and we use them to go on a detour from the goal. And she's saying that when creative U-turns happen, we're usually in the midst of it. We're on the road now, she says, and the road is scary. And then we begin to get distracted by roadside attractions or detoured by the bumps. So yeah, that's what I feel like creative U-turns is. And the last topic, blasting through blocks. In order to work freely on a project, an artist must be at least functionally free of resentment, anger, and resistance, fear. What do we mean by that? We mean that any buried barriers must be aired before the work can proceed. The same holds true for any buried payoffs to not working. Blocks are seldom mysterious. They are instead recognizable artistic defenses against what is perceived, rightly or wrongly, as a hostile environment. Remember, your artist is a creative child. It sulks, throws tantrums, holds grudges, harbors irrational fears. Like most children, it is afraid of the dark, the boogeyman, and any adventure that isn't safely scary. As your artist's parent and guardian, its big brother, warrior, and companion, it falls to you to convince your artist it is safe to come out and work, play. So, yes, child. Yes, I really enjoyed this section here. And then we get into the task. Honestly, you guys, this was a really good week. I feel like I really don't have too much to say. It was really a good week. I feel like, I say that, but I know I've already said too much already. So to wrap up, let me read you those quotes that I mentioned earlier that just really moved me. I'm not going to say the name of the people who said them because I don't want to botch anyone's names, okay, out of respect. But I feel like if you Google them, these quotes, the person will pop up, okay? Alright. I shall become a master in this art only after a great deal of practice. Taking a new step, uttering a new word is what people fear most. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Man can learn nothing except by going from the known to the unknown. Whew, that one really moved me, guys. I cannot expect even my own art to provide all the answers, only to hope it keeps asking the right questions. Can I get some snaps? I know that was, Art is a technique of communication. The image is the most complete technique of all, communication. Sounds like poetry, honestly. Art, you just do it. That's it. That's all. Alright, those were some of week 8's quotes. These are some of week 9's quotes. It doesn't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Duke Ellington, I knew that one. Alright, okay. Man is not free to refuse to do the thing which gives him more pleasure than any other conceivable action. I really like that one. I really like that one. It's basically saying like we don't have the right to decline ourselves of that divinity, of that creativity. We ain't got the freedom to do that. You know what I'm saying? Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Cherry on top to wrap this up. We learn to do something by doing it. There is no other way. So many gems, so many gems. So much food for thought. But that I will leave you with. So I will catch you all next week.